earlier they found themselves a little bit surprised by the Talon pick, and that happens, and that's why you have multiple chances in a best of 5. Let's see how they approach it. I like the fact that they're also targeting Hylissang's Malzahar here, because while it is able to be played around, it is still quite a nuisance.
And I think also what GG are doing now, as we talked about before Champs League studies, they're just changing up the jungle bans, because if
he has heavy feet, by the way.
He does a it's impressive sound he's making there. But if Gragas is that successful as a top laner, or sorry, as a jungler, then don't ban away 3 other junglers, because then you give him anyway a good pick. So now to leave everything open in the jungle pool.
Maybe that's a good sign for the Unicorns of Love. Xerxe has taken so many heavy hits this series.
He's just going to first pick Graves if it's open and take that into the jungle. It is the #1 jungler. But never mind, that one got banned.
Probably still a correct statement.
Very specific reason.
If it's open.
If it's open, very true.
It is not open.
Rumble and Rengar are the two we're kind of looking at right now.
I'm looking at Rumble right now.
Okay. Tell us why.
I think he's just quite a strong champion. He spits flame.
I also like it for Vizicsacsi. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, it's a strong early pick, pushes a lot of lanes when the Shen comfort is removed. It's still a flex pick into the jungle, but Unicorns of Love have this nasty habit of picking flex picks for top jungle early, and then picking the other game.
Yeah, like right after, be like, actually, never mind.
We're not flexing.
We don't want to flex this at all. We still look at AD carry as the most likely choice here, unless we're looking at a potential like support because they're 2 bans, but I think the safest choice is just go your preferred AD carry.
Yeah, if they go Ashe here, they can mimic the style from game 1 where they have lane gank, Ashe arrow into mithy CC, into Rengar dumping. He can fulfill a similar role as the Rumble jungle did in game 1. They will have to ban out Tahm Kench for that to be a little bit easier, but they can even still do it into the Kench.
Okay, we get that Talon now. Talon in this comp here with AP from the Rumble is going to be even more successful if executed properly. Gragas, I'm expecting that to be the jungle pick, and obviously Rumble top. They could still surprise in the end. Have been stable meta picks for a while. Camille top lane coming in from Expect, and this is where if you actually put the Gragas top lane, you have a pretty good matchup for Vizicsacsi, but the Rumble can still push in Camille early.
And the one benefit that Camille brings though is lockdown for Talon. He was running around in these fights quite chaotically, and you can't counter, just put him in that Camille ultimate, and then Zven should be able to kite.
I personally would like to see this Rumble go to Vizicsacsi. He's playing a little bit more the utility role this series. We loved him as a carry, all split long. We're in phase 2 picks and bans.
Caitlyn should come out then.
Yeah, Ashe locked in and Varus banned.
Ooh, Lucian, they want him on the Caitlyn.
Okay, they're trying to push him over to Caitlyn. Now, Ashe does have a good lane matchup against Caitlyn. There could be a Zyra blind pick coming in from mithy here to just like kind of really secure lane dominance. Seeing as Karma and Lulu are banned, the 2 shielding supports on the other side. The other option is you don't pick support here. You just pick your mid laner because you already know it's Talon.
Yeah.
And your last pick support for mithy with things like the Tahm Kench.
You can't, because Zyra, while having disengaged, there's a lot of like lingering backline damage, and she is very prone to getting caught. There is no forward playing tank either. Everybody's waiting for somebody to make the first move, but if you match Zyra into this comp, nobody wants to be the first guy to go in here.
And that's what they're doing now. They're showing mid laner. They know the matchup. The reason they're not going Cassiopeia here is because of the Gragas and Rumble.
Yeah.
It is so hard to play this very low mobile mage in the back against these champions. So LeBlanc offers way more mobility, a lot of pick potential on the side of G2.
I could honestly see a Thresh pick come out too and just have him reposition in fights with Lanterns if people get, you know, stuck on the Equalizer, need to run away from the Talon. But it's so hard to play that matchup though. It leaves you incredibly squishy.
So we do get the Caitlyn, as Crepo mentioned after the AD carry bans. Thresh is
what a surprise.
Yeah, whoa!
They're all banned.
1 AD carry left, but Thresh is also an option here for Hylissang if he wants to take that one down to bottom lane. But it's actually tricky with this blind support pick for him.
They're so afraid of the arrow combination though. When you've seen a laning ganking jungler like Trick plus arrow, they need somebody to make it a bit easier.
We could actually even see Mithy's Braum against the Tahm Kench here. Braum ulti against Gragas is fantastic. Braum is good with exhaust to just tag their Talon in-game, and you can pick him against his Tahm Kench lane.
Because he wants some melee matchups.
Yeah, I think actually Braum would be a super good pick here for mithy, and it's a staple in European finals that mithy gets at least 1 game on the Braum.
And the amount of projectiles he can influence in a game-deciding manner. He can block Gragas ultis and force them to explode in front of his feet instead of going wide. He can block, potentially, Caitlyn projectile damage in multitude of ways. He can get rid of the Talon engage too by exhaust and stacking concussive blows, so it's a very potent pick.
Is locked in, is secured, so G2 seem to once again have answers to the Unicorns team composition.
I mean, coming into this, we were kind of writing down missing meta picks for both teams. the list was actually fairly long for Unicorns of Love. The list on the side of G2 was like Gragas, top lane, done. That was it. That was the only champion we haven't really seen of like standard meta picks. So they have a massive champion pool across multiple lanes, and then that will always give you flexibility in a pick and ban phase.
Great co-casting synergy when he says we, and it's actually his list.
We
not gonna take credit for that one. That was the Vicious list. Well researched.
Well, we didn't even get to talk about all the other missing picks.
Well, maybe we won't need to. The Unicorns of Love have got themselves a carry in the top lane for Vizicsacsi. Let's see if he can pop off and force deciding live.
He needs to have a clean game. My voice needs to survive as well.
That's fine. You just stay very quiet until the soft analysis comes in, and we'll do the yellow things.
If anybody at home is playing any sort of mini games, let's look at what the win conditions are for both of these two teams.
A lot of rotations.
Where the macro will shine. The coaches shook hands, and so do the mascots. Romain and Lothar, UOL and G2. The Unicorns and the Samurai. Who will win? You guys know how Twitter works. You guys know how the wave works. Let's hope you guys know how to chant, because we're all losing our voices just a little bit.
Crowd will cast the last game.
It's game 4.
Hey, name a more iconic duo.
May you find someone that looks at you like Romain looks at this Hamburg crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, Perkz on the LeBlanc against Exileh on the Talon. That's a matchup I want to watch. Flash teleports for Perkz in his mid lane. Going to be some side lane pressure that G2 can open up.
With the double TP from G2, they will have, of course, the map advantage, but that doesn't matter for the Unicorns of Love because they're looking to go mid lane. We've repeated it so many times, we've said it so many times, it's been true every single game. Xerxe in the last game had some good Gragas engages. Also had moments where he was holding on to that flash when they could go for something. I want to see him in this game be even more aggressive on it, because his team is bringing a lot of damage right behind him.
Quite tense, no more shenanigans, no invades here. We need to see if this Talon pick from Exileh can find return success, if they can bounce back here, or if Perkz will welcome him yet again in the lane kingdom.
Also, he's not going to have as many outplay opportunities. Petrifying Gaze you can turn away from, you can dodge, you can use your ulti and walk off of Miasma. You can't do the same things against distortions and chains if Perkz is hitting his skill shots.
And chains track you while you're invisible too, which is a very tricky thing to deal with.
So great to hear the support. Hamburg, thank you for bringing the noise. Yeah, in the Barclaycard Arena, cheering on the two best teams in Europe.
Let's see where these jungle paths end up ending. Maybe potential ganks. Obviously, Rengar, very little pressure early on, but Xerxe, he could technically spice it up.
Definitely so. Normally though, again, as we talked about in the last game, Gragas, do a safe first clear. Maybe look for a flash gang, but you don't have to. You really do not have to. For both junglers, actually. Obviously, it comes down to placing vision then. It's not like you're just not going to do anything in the early game. Mid lane, though, is going to be fun because it's going to be an action-packed lane.
Yeah, but which lane does Xerxe decide to prioritize? You know, you've got carries and damage all over the map.
But I'm looking at the big story here. The one red thread between the entire series here. How long is this Cabre going to live?
We'll find out.
Most likely long.
We'll find out. I got some support on Twitter, by the way. They appreciated the updates.
So bottom lane here, very good early trade because of level 2 spike from the Unicorns of Love, the classic bot lane power spike. Chachi, what you can do as a pushing rumble is you go in and you ward the enemy top camp here. You see it's already cleared out, so you know, okay, Rengar did his path from Raptor into red buff into Perkz, and now he's going to go to the bottom side. So you actually now know where the jungler is without even seeing the jungler.
Yeah. The deeper you can place those wards, the more satisfaction your team will get from it.
Talked a lot about wards, actually. G2 have been warding a whole lot more than UOL this series. Take a look at those numbers. On average, 12 control wards more per game.
And that makes me happy. As a Vision enthusiast, Denial Vision, just playing that control ward game. However, it's never the amount of control wards that you should judge. It's how you use them. And maybe Unicorns have just been slightly more efficient in the last game. Who knows?
Well, help them win the game, so can't argue with that. Xerxe Wants to try to
Oh,
do
he's
some
gonna
shenanigans.
They got it!
Gets the steal.
And that goes back to that ward that the Fisher was praising from the Rumble in the top lane. It is all connected.
The New is down on the bottom lane. The New is near that blue buff. It fades in also because they're pushing the bottom side.
Yeah, it ties in the push in the bottom there. Vizicsacsi with the front step. It was in the highlight reel for his MVP tribute video as well, how he's willing to dodge forward, sometimes with flash. And he also knows how Camille works, because he baited Kawashard.
He did bait Kawashard. Poor guy, man.
Or did Kawashard bait himself?
I think he baited himself. But that's why Kawashard is not playing in this final, and Vizicsacsi, he is playing in the final. Trick though, he's on to Hylissang.
Is indeed, but so is Perkz being jumped on. Exile's burning
Oh!
diplomacy. They trade 1 for 1.
But Perkz is first. And in the matters of the first blood place, it does matter who finishes first.
You have to remember though, Perkz running teleport. He can return to lane instantly. Exile needs to run after, of course, respawning. So there might be a little bit of experience advantage for Perkz after that 1 for 1 trade. So in the end, actually worth it for him. Small little advantage he's going to gain.
Yeah, because Strick was about to tax the hell out of that lane, but Perkz...
Perkz like, no, please, ping, 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 ping.
Oh, Trick's going in, flash over the barrel.
Very aggressive, waiting for those cooldowns. Moves forward, the bowler strike connects. Remember that teleport you guys talked about? That's going to deliver chains onto Xerxe. He goes down, Trick gets a second.
And this is why Trick is such an intelligent player. When you're watching this scene unfold, I guarantee almost nobody could see that there was a kill opportunity there. We're wondering, why is he flashing? And as we are slowly figuring it out, Perkz, 4 seconds ago, he said, I got him.
Of course, I'm gonna TP in, man. I'm gonna take this guy down, and it's a good start now for G2's mid laner. Bottom lane still under pressure, but they're keeping even in CS, which is very important for them. Exile, this lane might get tough for him.
Ooh, and this flash body slam early on from Xerxe is really being punished here. If you're Gragas and you get killed on your level 5, it really slows down a lot, because you want to get 6 and then they gank, and if they read that gank and you have no flash, suddenly the pacing turns into Rengar favor.
Beautiful point blank chain from Perkz. Catching Exile the moment he jumps in with that Q.
That makes you wonder why LeBlanc was left open in this matchup, because Perkz has shown an affinity for this champion in his multiple forms, really, even despite the changes.
And of course, if you go back to those picks and bans, Syndra, Karma, and Lulu taken away by UOL. That Karma all series long. Obviously could have changed the impact, but this is a replay of that first blood trade.
Starts as a 1v1 here. Exile also kind of trying to bait in Perkz a little bit, and Xerxe does show up. Nice mind games as well. Looks like he's body slamming away and then turns around with the flash, but it's the 1 for 1. But then TP back for Perkz.
Dramatic zoom in for the final tip.
Yeah, but then this read, the flash over the barrel, not getting slowed. Smite comes out, but it doesn't really do too much, and he knows Perkz is coming back from teleport. And this is, and it honestly was pretty hard to spot that was a kill opportunity, and major props to Trick for realizing so.
It's a good timing as well, knowing Xerxe's flash was just used before here. So bottom lane now, Zven and mithy getting a bit more breathing room, also with obviously no flash on the enemy Gragas, not level 6 yet. They don't really need to respect the jungler, and Trick is level 6 already.
And they can mimic the style from game 1. We talked about it time and time again, you know, this arrow into combo. Also, this lane spikes incredibly hard on level 6. Despite Tahm Kench being able to kind of mess with your flow and using Devour, you can then stun him and just chain CC and get so much damage out.
But I want to see then Unicorn say, okay, if you're going to play bottom side as G2, let's go top lane. You got this Camille here that's not tanky at all against Exile, because he's obviously stacking MR against the Gragas and the Rumble. So Exile can go up there with these early AD builds and really punish Expect.
Yeah, notice how Exile is constantly playing his minions. Whenever he dashes forward to hit Perkz, he always wants to be behind the minion. He needs to be outside of chain range. And obviously Perkz, he can harass with spells in the minion wave without drawing aggro, so it's quite hard to really position well in this matchup.
Exile currently doing okay farm-wise. Got himself 3 of those long swords, and as you look towards the top lane, level 6 for Chachi, Xerxe, Trick, and Expect. So if any fights were to break out, no room for error.
A small thing right there, but thank you, mithy, on behalf of all our supports, for actually checking the brush on the way back. So many people skip around these brushes here saying, nah, that's probably not a control ward, and then they actually end up not finding it, and that one ward can end up having a ton of value.
Not an efficient control ward. We talked about how on average G2 have got plus 12 control wards literally.
I mean, it could have been. It depends on your opposition, obviously. And combining Vision with this Ashe pick is also really what works for G2 Esports, because they always have that hawk shot.
Now, whenever they do play these aggressive lanes in mid, Xerxe likes to roam down. He's even TPing now on Rumble. They're fighting.
Mithy's the target. Equalizer comes out. Look how great that is. Mithy and Trick are being tagged. Devour buys some time for Xerxe to escape. Where is Samux?
Yeah, but where is Samux? Where is Expect is what matters more, because his top lane is left open completely, and the map reset will go heavily in favor of G2. They're just stalling bases right now and then poking away, but they have to be careful.
All right, concussive blows. Can't find a stun onto Hilly. It's going to time out. The barrel comes over the wall from Xerxe. Expect has still not teleported in.
And this is so good now for Expect, because he's just sitting top lane, doesn't have to fear anything. The fact that this TP backfired from Vizicsacsi suddenly makes this pretty bad play for the Unicorns of Love.
Because not only does he get to preserve his teleport once it comes available,
yeah,
still briefly on cooldown, but even if he had it, it's fine. Just disengaging, stalling the bases, get the wave push in, and generally when you want to base in League of Legends, if you can get a push first, that's almost always a good or a better base, and that's exactly what happens here. G2 get the map reset, and it's totally in their favor.
Totally in their favor, and Xerxe was actually moving down already, but because the fight was started in mid, felt forced to probably TP in. Braum had flash available though, so mithy just escaped, and then trading TP for flash is obviously never worth it.
And we're still looking for Trick to find an ulti somewhere. The ultimate is just on cooldown. Maybe he misclicked it in base?
That's an oopsie.
Or is that like a graphical error? I don't know, because it's so close to like being used. We don't know, we'll find out.
24 seconds left on it, so it's just on your screen. It's trying to trick all of you. 20 seconds from now it will be available, and he can obviously use it back on the map. Now Perkz, a lot of freedom in this mid lane. Ahead in CS, got early armor as well, which is fantastic against this Talon.
And look at the double control ward. There's one but really well-placed ward on the ramp for Unicorns, but that's going to fade. That is a clear pathway for Perkz to start putting top pressure. Trick will have ultimate very soon available. He's making sure he's not spotted. He just puts a control ward down.
I have to give a shout out to the Pantheon fans in the crowd all the way here from France. A lot of support yesterday for Soaz, and bringing the noise along with the rest of the Barclaycard Arena.
And this is the Physio's favorite gank, Rengar in the top lane.
This is a dead Vizicsacsi.
Works.
Donated to Expect. That just looked so easy.
It is so easy. Vizicsacsi, no flash on Rumble, no way to get away. So easy to set up that kill, and that's great for Trick.
It's also part of his playstyle. He pushes and pushes and pushes, and he wants to take them in the grave with him. But he had to take a detour this game and was actually falling behind. Economy-wise, he was just too far up, not knowing where Trick was.
It just hurts even more with that early TP from Xerxe and the flash. It was just too over-aggressive looking for that one play, and it's now backfired twice for Unicorns of Love and giving G2 the gold advantage early.
And what a terrifying position to be in. G2 1,300 up. Expect, Trick, and Perkz all with a kill thanks to plays like this.
Yeah, not really a whole lot to say. It's just a very good setup against no flash Rumble and a ward in the river that obviously will not save you when Trick already popped his ulti and he's on the way.
Yeah, and great control ward usage as well. G2 making sure they're not spotted. Don't giggle, don't sniffle at my control wards, Trevor.
Well, I like talking about control wards. We haven't really focused on them a huge amount this series, because UOL and G2 have given us interesting team fights.
We're gonna get more. We're gonna get more. Because Unicorns again under pressure in mid lane, but Parkour on the way out.
And the crowd is indicating what they want the Unicorns to do. Clap G2. But it's not going to happen, it seems, because they're very controlled. G2 Esports is still 1,000 gold ahead already. And they're just waiting to connect all the dots here. Land the CC and follow up.
Yeah, and when you go back to the first two games of the series, when G2 got themselves that advantage, they made the right calls. They didn't get caught out. They didn't make the mistakes that allowed them to pick up those wins.
And it was also Perkz always just being careful when the enemy jungler could be there, but then playing with pressure once he knows he is most likely not there.
And at this point here, Perkz is hovering towards top side because his duo lane is on the top side of the map, so he knows there's no vision on the bottom side, and that's why he's not going down where Xerxe can actually jump him, unless he sees maybe a kill and he gets baited.
Expect Exileh decides to jump in.
And reels him in, he just dances in front of him, gives him the illusion that Perkz will overstep, but that was just a complete mind game outplay, and he's using the pressure that the Unicorns must be feeling at this very moment against Exileh.
Lane Kingdom is in effect in Game 4. Perkz absolutely has Exileh's number in this LeBlanc matchup.
Yeah, Exileh trying to bait the fight. Didn't work, so Expect bot lane.
He likes going aggressive this series. The super passive tank player Expect has been slowly been fading out. Obviously, he has the support from mithy and Zven here.
Yeah, and Exileh, of course, died in mid, so there's an opening for G2 to just keep pushing in at the moment. Zven is here with arrow, but they have to respect the fact on the tower.
Look at Trick, look at Trick!
Look at Xerxe.
Come in, teleport's available for Vizicsacsi, he's pushing the top tower.
And a bit of a failed rotation here for G2. Engaging on this Tahm Kench lane. Once expect dashes in, obviously they expect that he's there. Yes, that's his name, it's really annoying. Now Vizicsacsi gets a free turret top.
There's been actually now 2 times where Chachi managed to go down to the opposite lane the fastest, and he got to push in a wave, expect that to run down and catch it, and lost the wave. Then happens top lane as well now, so Unicorns of Love, while losing a few kills, just like in the last game, of playing around these towers here, top lane tower is extremely low at this point.
And isn't that beautiful when you use a tempo advantage like that to get a CS lead?
It is absolutely beautiful. It's why we like to see it. It's why it's actually funny, because the whole tempo advantage and everything, it's something the pro teams talk about 24/7. But no one else kind of uses it.
They don't even sleep.
They don't know, it's just all the time. They just dream of tempo all the time. But it's obviously not a concept that really works in solo queue very well, so a lot of people don't actually
I've tried
to
telling
use
people,
it.
hey guys, tempo.
I've seen you try and tell people, and yeah.
Just up the tempo, guys.
You end up
Make it
dying
work.
on your own, and then of course it's the team's fault.
Oh, Perkz maybe anticipating the juke. Not going to find the ethereal chain. Still in a great position, working towards that gunblade. Also got some ingredients towards hourglass.
I like
very,
it.
very comfortable.
Get a bit of everything, even some lifesteal in there. Why not?
Drop the CS. Almost pains me.
All right, Hylissang and Samux. Looking at mithy. mithy yells stand behind me and ironically jumps to Zven. And, takes stock of the situation. 15 minutes into the game. G2 Esports 1,500 gold up. CS advantage massive for Perkz in the mid lane thanks to several outplays. But no towers have fallen just yet.
No, but we're just waiting for 2 items to be fully completed on Perkz here, the Hourglass and the Gunblade, and he will have the damage to kill Exileh, and he will have the tools to survive against Exileh as well. And then it suddenly becomes all about the big team fights, and we know we're going to get them. Unicorns will soon start hovering around that mid lane. Perkz, see if he can stop a recall here. Succeeds.
When I look at the minimap, I can see 2 junglers in and around the bottom quadrant. A number of G2 wards, though, inside UOL's side, so they'll be aware of Xerxe's position. They don't engage yet. So what happens next? What do UOL or G2 want to do to sort of unlock their 2 team comps?
Like, Perkz can keep chipping away at the mid lane turret. Obviously, I think G2, they're always happy with a neutral state. If both junglers are revealing each other, they're happy because their lanes are scaling in the side of Camille, and Perkz is just winning the 1v1 matchup. So as long as everybody else keeps the 4v4 even, Perkz will snowball mid, and that seems to be exactly what is happening right now, and that's why we don't see much action, because the lack thereof will eventually benefit G2 Esports.
Yeah, I really want to see Xerxe trying to make a play with Vizicsacsi on that top lane to get that tower and like push that lane all the way out and then swap Vizicsacsi back down to the bottom side and maybe join a fight. But Xerxe is on kind of defending duty here. He's helping his bottom lane stay alive because Trick is around. Like, Xerxe's not here to gank. He's here to make sure they can actually push out a lane.
Yeah, this is where you play aggro on one side, passive on the other, and the aggro is in the mid lane. Exileh is dying again! Again!
Easy. Perkz absolutely destroying Exileh. Exileh got 1v1 multiple times in the semi-final.
And he actually touches his hair every time he dies. It's like his nervous tick, and he's been touching it quite a bit this game. This Perkz definitely the better mid laner in this particular matchup.
So just like in the semi-final when Exileh would die in lane 1v1 to power Vivo, the other lanes will suddenly pick up all the slack, especially with Vizicsacsi up in the top lane. He's the man we're looking at in a game like this. But this tower here, it's so low, but he's not getting any assists, so he can't really just kill it. He's slowly grinding it down. Maybe the minions will help him, or maybe Expect will keep it alive on like 10 HP. Get in there, Chachi!
Couple more hits. Vizicsacsi
do it!
Perkz manages to jump in with the hook shot. Tower goes down. Equalizer comes up. Chachi wants to trade. Flashes away from Trick. Gets the tower. Gets the kill. But they gets taken down.
Now I call worth it if I'm Vizicsacsi right here. You get a TP from Perkz, you get ulti from Trick, and you get that first tower gold for your team.
But that is the 4th kill of the game for Perkz.
Yeah, 5 out of 6 kills Perkz is involved in right now, and it's fine. It is a beneficial trade unless it tips over Perkz into such a disgusting point that he can start annihilating anybody on the map wherever he so damn pleases, and that may be worrying for the Unicorns.
Might get a fight in mid lane. Sven with the arrow.
Okay, where's mithy? He's looking for the Glacial Fissure. Exileh's in trouble. No flash, no Shadow Assault. Hylissang gets tagged by the ECA. Now parkour over the wall, and Exileh's escaped. Perkz was slowed down by the exhaust. Shadow Assault comes out. Hylissang is taken down by Sven, and Vizicsacsi teleported in. He's got no equalizer, remember. Double kill to Sven.
Why? Why? Why would you join without ulti on Rumble?
I don't know, because you're trying to help.
Don't help. Just let him die. The guy overextended. It's fine. You lost the support.
And it looked so good for a moment then, but Perkz, that's actually a really tricky flash to pull off. Now Samux is trapping Expect here in the bottom lane. Has to run, he's fine. But again, like, it's so hard to actually distortion back and then flash that wall, because the camera movement involved is very tricky. And now we get to see the first part. Watch him go.
You realize the minions won't help him.
He has to do it alone. One man, one mission. Vizicsacsi. He loves doing this flash on Rumble.
Ah, it's really good. Gets the kill, so then he just forced 3 guys on top side. Summoners, he got the tower, everything. But then this happens to mid. Exileh overstays. Now he needs Hylissang to help him. So Hylissang will obviously sacrifice his own HP to get the Talon out. At this point of view, Unicorns disengage. You do not need to turn around. But they actually did. Spoiler alert. Vizicsacsi and Hylissang both died.
And that allows G2 to get their 8th kill of the game. We're getting up to 20 minutes. Unicorns of Love somehow have to find their way back in. This is a game where Unicorns once again do or die. Match point, championship points. The #1 team in Europe and a flight to Brazil is on the line.
Just a flight though. They actually get a hotel room too.
I can't make more promises for G2 because they've started doing better. You know, they're looking stronger. IEM made the finals after an interesting playoff, and
no records will be broken this game, Trevor.
no,
My favorite concept in the game.
Main problem though for G2 when it comes to international tournament, Trevor, now you talked about it, it's always been the best of ones.
Yeah.
In Europe, they get to play these BO3s, BO5s. They get to, obviously, if they lose the first game, they get to change things, adapt. They lost the game in this series. They adapted, they changed the pick and ban phase, removed every single jungle ban, and they're looking much better.
And they keep scaling against familiar opponents. That is one of G2's strengths, why they will always be a great European playoff team, because they analyze their opponents, who they play in the European LCS on the regular, who they play in scrims, and they just adapt and improve. It's when they play against opponents they haven't played against picks that they haven't played against, like Aurelion Sol and CLG, games where suddenly their turrets start falling down early, or super slow games that they're not used to playing, that's when they falter.
So Rito, please make it BO3s. G2 will succeed.
Well, G2 are currently succeeding in the final. Equalizer gets thrown down by Vizicsacsi. Samux is up on the front line. Look at that unbreakable shield from mithy doing a lot of work. Optimistic, and it fails.
Yeah, they're stalling the 5 because that leaves the side lanes empty here. Expect isn't even pushing onwards because the Tahm Kench defensive rotation comes out right now. Abyssal Void is used because, again, it is all about Perkz.
Yeah, now, we know G2 scouted this playstyle. They talked about it before the game. We've seen it in the game. They know it's a 5-man mid lane from Unicorns of Love, and they play defensive and they win the side lanes. That's always the answer. When Unicorns are behind in the split push, they try and hard engage. The hard engage in this comp is only Xerxe, but it was Vizicsacsi with ulti who tried to engage.
Oh,
needs to be Gragas.
Damage. Vizicsacsi's down. Just so easily secured by G2. You know, you talked about Perkz. He's 2,500 gold up over Exileh. Approaching Flame Horizon. Unbreakable blocks a lot of projectile spin. Gets dropped down by an explosive cast. It's a reply kill.
Oh, the trade!
Here comes Expect. They swap places. The hook shot doesn't find a target.
Perkz though.
And Perkz wants to find Samux. Samux gets devoured, distorts back to his original position. Xerxe gets locked in place, but G2 maintain the lead.
Yeah, but it still was one of those flanks that Unicorns were so known for, constantly reappearing in that mid lane. They had to use Tahm Kench ultimate defensively to the top lane, so at least fighting back. But you see just how prepared G2 are and how willing they're still to fight, even if they lose one of their key members.
And I want to turn the attention to UOL just a little bit because they are trying to fight their way back into this matchup. They were the underdogs in the final. And yes, this is the best UOL that we've seen in 5 splits since their debut, since they made finals against Fnatic. But there is still room to grow. There is still things for this team to learn. Champion pools is one of those things that was a big deciding factor. You've seen it play out throughout the series.
Yeah, and while it's the best Unicorns of Love we've ever seen, it's also the best G2 Esports we've ever seen. Like this split, more infrastructure, kept the same lineup from last year and just said, you know what, we're just going to practice, and then we're going to go to another international tournament, and we're going to show how good we actually are. Fight up here, though.
Decent sidesteps by Exileh. Teleports coming down from Vizicsacsi.
Oh, he stops him.
All over the wall. Expect body blocks. Vizicsacsi throws down the equalizer. Does the Vizicsacsi flash, but Perkz will not fall prey. Expect gets the passive shield. Survives!
It lives!
Survives!
Oh, he's alive in the end. Xerxe did get hit by the chains despite him trying to flash. So close when it comes to trading kills. Zven died in mid lane though.
So he got picked up, but both these top laners did such an excellent job keeping their flashes in the key moment. Now Hylissang, again, he has to use that Abyssal Voyage defensively. When the Unicorns were winning in the split and having such a great performance, he was using that offensively, constantly appearing where they did not expect him. Perkz, distortion warding.
Checking. See, is anyone here?
Yeah, jumped a ward too on the way out. So he's super safe.
Super efficient.
Like how you need the blast gun for that one, so just placing it in the brush and then jumping back out. But obviously taking the blast gun is very good.
It's the style points.
I mean, you gotta keep in mind, Unicorns could use that blast gun to kill it.
Knock him out, yeah. He's been consistently removing blast guns before distortioning forward, because obviously that could punish him.
And now, obviously, Unicorns comp here. Do you have tools to deal with things like LeBlanc in a team fight? You have the Tahm Kench to help you. But the split push is so hard now because you have this TP LeBlanc always pushing one side, the TP Camille always pushing the other one. So the group mid is once again the call for Unicorns to love. But as we said earlier, hard engage is only Xerxe, and he's holding on to the flashes still. He needs to use it aggressively. He needs to use it often to actually start fights. So expect goes in.
No teleports available for anybody when we jump out of this one. The body block was so great.
Yeah, because Exileh with the TP thinks, okay, let's chase and kill him. Gets blocked. Could have waited definitely for Xerxe to actually complete the teleport, and this 2v2 would have gone completely different. Exileh is probably feeling a lot of pressure on him after dying so many times, and he's making some mistakes that are costing his team a lot in this fourth game.
Yeah, that's when you rub your face. That's when you know it was so close. I wonder if Expect even knew about the passive coming, and this is Zven. And getting caught out here, let's see. So they're kiting. Yeah, this is with a good flash forward. Zven no flash.
Now let's see whether or not that comes to hurt.
It already happened, guys. It's already happened, and G2 is still winning.
Yeah, 6,000 gold nearly up. The G2 army definitely in a numbers disadvantage here in Hamburg. But they're bringing an arsenal that UOL simply can't compete with right now.
Bottom lane.
Xerxe with a defensive equalizer. Abyssal Voyage from Hylissang comes up. Where's the support from G2? Hook shot to get away. Samux has got red buff. He's got a kill onto Trick. The Devour movement speed allows Hilly to waddle closer to Expect. Keeps using that Caitlyn range.
Yeah, but the support of G2 is with their AD carry in the mid lane right now, and they're sieging on this turret. Tier 2 Perkz looking to assist as well. They do not want Zven to get caught here, and they're just looking for a gold versus death trade, but Xerxe is around.
Oh, Perkz goes in quite aggressively onto Xerxe, unable to get the chains to connect, but the tower survives.
So I like the defensive move here from Tahm Kench down to the bottom lane. G2 diving in, probably thinking that even if Tahm Kench shows up, we get a mid tower at least, and then we then trade tower for kill. But Unicorns do manage to defend. Tower is low. Mid lane tower here is open for them. Xerxe flanking, no ulti.
No ulti available. Perkz, however, jumps on the back line. The chains lock down Hilly, so does the Ashe arrow. Xerxe spat out for safety. The double dispersion. Exhaust comes down. Perkz is down. Perkz is down. Samux now turns around. He's got double buffs. What is the call?
You have to remember with the new LeBlanc here, it's not about the distortion AoE damage. No. It's jump in, hit one target, jump back. He tried to get so much AoE damage down that he got locked in place, and he just...
They got annihilated. There just wasn't enough damage here for the G2 to make a play as they were aiming for. They were playing it super signature G style, super slow here. This is where it all started. Vizicsacsi, it is the Zonias that buys just enough time for this entire play to work.
Yeah, but now the call for G2 is, okay guys, they're 3-man bot lane, rush the mid tower. See if you can just trade that for a kill. And then it would have been a good trade for G2.
The problem is minions are really slow.
They are very slow, you can't really speed them up that easily. This is the mid lane flank from Xerxe, but he doesn't have ulti, so it's not really a threat. Then look at Perkz here. Old LeBlanc, this would have been a fantastic use of distortion. New LeBlanc, that's not where your damage comes from.
Yeah, they could have just focused frontline Vizicsacsi like they usually would do in a safe range. That is the benefit of G2's teamfighting style this entire series. They just hit the frontline out of range, and they play a much more efficient style. This was over-eager hubris from Perkz.
Samux in the last game on Lucian, he went off 7-1-7. He's been kick-started this time around. It's 27 minutes in, guys. It's a 5,000 gold lead for G2, which is still substantial.
Yeah.
But Unicorns are showing they can still win team fights as long as they can keep Samux alive and relevant.
Again, it is that pure team fight come from the Unicorns of Love. It's how they want to try and win the game. Xerxe is just trying to defend. Exileh, looking for a potential pick here.
Has to be careful, though.
Exileh's going to parkour over the wall. The engage from Trick. Exileh gets caught out by the bowler strike. Samux and Hilly down in the bottom half of your map.
Expect just won the duel in the bottom lane. Kill Xerxe, will take the tower. Expects Camille has been very good this series here. This guy deserves, a lot of credit. The guy everyone criticized last year as well.
Yeah,
now he's been picking up the slack.
Always put in position of the weakest member of G2, but that doesn't inherently make him weak. And right now there's actually Baron pressure for G2 because they have bot lane pushing, they have Expect basing. He's undoubtedly looking to use a teleport in the 15-second window here that Vizicsacsi is still dead.
Well, luckily, Vizicsacsi can still TP in to a fight. Equalizer's not available to him, but look at Expect. There's no answer here from G2.
He waited, then he started pushing once he saw that Unicorns was reacting, and now G2 is going for the Nashor. They need to force them to the base first, then make the play around Nashor. If they kept going for Nashor defense, then they would have just kept split pushing, and this is the beauty. Technically, G2 could have done Baron here, that's why Xerxe is so afraid face checking.
I mean, this playoffs, G2 have just fully unlocked Expect. He's played carries after carries, Camille so many times, and G2 are playing the map extremely effectively. Look at the pressure they're applying around Baron, trying to force UOL's hand to come to them.
Might need the same kind of fight we saw last game for Unicorns to win, where it's G2 starting a Baron, then getting caught a bit out of position by Xerxe on the Gragas, but G2 probably learned from that game. They normally have really good Baron setups. They're normally really good at understanding, when is it too risky.
Yeah.
That was one of the problems they had last year, but it would cost them games. Now that we see this one-on-one down the bottom lane, Expect nice little thing in the end. He stays with the hook shot on the wall, reactivates it once Hourglass is gone, gets the kill. But yeah, as I said before, last year they lost games due to Baron setups. They lost games because they panicked.
Yeah, and their in-moment shot calling for Barons isn't the greatest either. When they have to toss and turn around and really shake it up its head, when they have everything planned out, G2, fantastic team. But it's when suddenly convention gets challenged is when they struggle.
We have seen very few poor Barons for them this split. They've been much better at actually doing that, and it's good to see them really improving certain things.
Right now, 4 people in the mid lane, so G2 want to hold, they say passive mindset mid, wait for pressure bot. That is their goal right now, and the Unicorns, obviously, they want to punish that. And as we see, Trick right now is on Krugs. This is something that is so inherent to his style. When a lot of teams are under pressure, they kind of just turtle up. But Trick will always be clearing his camps consistently throughout the game, looking for maximizing the gains.
Look at the minimap. There are no jungle camps available for G2, and I can count 1, 2, 3 of them available for UOL. Of course, they were sieging the mid lane, unable to clear out the jungle at the time, but they're still behind, still trailing the defending champions.
And just like in the series against Misfits from Unicorns of Love, as we said earlier, when Exileh fell behind, it was everyone else who picked up all the slack here. Exileh just needs to honestly make sure he doesn't die in a side lane, because Samux is now sitting on 3 items on this Caitlyn here. Gragas is fairly strong at this point. Unicorns of Love need to win fights through the AD carry, not the mid laner.
Important Skull Crab here, because we see the bot lane pressure funneled over, so Expect pushes bot, he goes mid, which means that the remaining 4 members of G2 can play topside around the Nashor. Having some vision there with the Skull Crab slows it down. Now Expect obviously goes back to bottom line, because he wants to punish Vizicsacsi for trying to push out.
Exileh on the way though, so Expect he knows he can't really overextend. Well, go for it anyway.
Did not anticipate the engage. Now Expect running away. Throws down the Hextech ultimatum. Shadow Assault as well on the minimap. G2 are making their way to Baron. Electro Harpoon misses. The minions body block, but the Wraith does not.
But this Baron here is risky because Xerxe has teleport. There's no mountain drakes, it's just clouds. This simply means that Unicorns can stop G2 very easily and they get a kill bot lane.
Yeah, and G2 is a team that will never seemingly go for a 50-50, so it just was a fake out. Expect overextending, and when you have
just
this...
when we praised him, he knows. He knows. Go aggressive. Oh, he jumps back in.
Hylissang's not going to get caught out by those chain sticks. He's body slammed over the wall. Still got flash available to him and that explosive cask, and Hilly's going to get access to the Abyssal Void. Used it defensively earlier.
Now, a team that is willing to go for 50-50s and is actually a perennial Baron stealing team is the Unicorns of Love here, and they're looking to do something, but they have no Rumble ultimate and they're facing a very organized G2 Esports.
G2 are trying to flank. Perkz comes in with a double distort combo. Mithy's all the way up forward. Look at Samux! Perkz has almost insta-gibbed him. Hylissang's going to need to devour Samux in a second. They've got Perkz, but it's at the cost of Xerxe. Now UOL are running for their lives.
Teleport behind him, Expect is on the way, full HP.
Hextech ultimatum is available. He's going to look for a target. The hook shot. Oh, look at that! The tactical sweep picks up 1. Precision protocol makes it a double. Expect's not done. Samux is running for his life. He gets shut down. Trick gets 1 more, and the Hylissang will be the last standing member for UOL.
Expect will get him down eventually, but this now means the
hit him!
No!
He escapes! He runs! Run with him! Don't!
But look at the mid lane, guys. Look at the mid lane.
Oh, look at this
it's not done
battle!
yet.
Support versus support! Support on combat!
That one is dying.
Who will win? No, expect that's not fair. Fatality, G2 Esports.
They still get the inhib. They will get the Baron. Unicorns of Love, they had no Rumble ulti. There was TP on expect. Them rushing that Baron ended up costing them so much.
And that is what they do. They don't play with 50% of the chips in the pot. 70, 80 goes in if it wins. Or if it pays out, they pay out big. But if it fails, G2 may hit the final nail in the coffin here.
If there was ever a UOL style call, that could have just been it.
Yeah, they go down in the same way as they usually try to win.
So, at this point here, if you're Unicorns, you know you have to fight. You can't just finish the Baron. So at least
Yes, you
turn
can.
at the same time. Well, I guess you could try, but that probably means you all die at the same time. So they don't manage to turn at the same time here. Xerxe goes in. Perkz flanks from the back and dies. Now, the front line of Unicorns dropping.
And Samux is also out of the fight because he's so scared of what's going on out there. Good devour. But honestly, it was a great engage still from Xerxe. Ballslam flash catching too, but it's his teleport. This was exactly what they were trying to avoid here.
Also with Perkz flank, getting so much damage on Samux. Started the whole thing for G2, and then even though it was a good engage from Xerxe, it was a very good flank from the LeBlanc. And a good game overall for Perkz.
Really good Zonias there as well, just buying time solo in the backline. He can jump around. He is becoming quite the menace here. Now he's under pressure from Exileh.
All right, is there any support? Exileh fancies his chances, parkouring forward. Perkz is the one that's actually losing this trade. Abyssal Voyage from Hylissang.
And jukes the observers even.
Yeah, no blast cone available, so Perkz needs to flash over the wall. Cost of an Abyssal Voyage, but look at G2 with Baron with a 10,000 gold lead. They've already got an inhibitor in the middle lane. They're taking a second inhibitor in the bottom lane. G2, the army has come, and they just need one final push.
Yeah, and they play as a unit. When you aggressive to one side, he folds, he yields, and the remaining part of the squad then puts cross-map pressure going for the inhib, and they're fighting against the Unicorn's aggressive style of just commit onto one lane super hard and get the kill with the necessary patience.
Getting that Baron meant everything for G2 Esports. Unicorns suddenly can't push anywhere. Unicorns can't force any fights right now. It's every lane getting pushed in, either super minions or champions.
And last game we saw G2 kind of falter here. They were pushing it a bit too deep. Actually, the second game it was not waiting for all the minions right now. Or poise, Vizicsacsi under pressure again.
Yeah, he's got that hourglass if it's needed, and it might just be Baron and Power minions starting to hammer away. Xerxe just body slams the supers to buy some time. 2 Nexus towers remaining, but the last inner turret in the top lane is down. It's a 13,000 gold lead. Samux needs to be devoured as Perkz has once again forced him away from the fight.
Yeah, it's the final siege here for G2 Esports. A massive goal advantage. 2 Cloud Drakes to their name.
Rengar in the bottom lane as well, pushing in on the Nexus turrets.
Abyssal Voyage comes down from Hylissang, delivering Samux. They've caught Trick out. He's gonna get dropped down. One more hit from Samux. G2 need to back away.
Yeah, but it's great time because there was not a minion wave in the top lane. Vizicsacsi is holding, so maybe the Unicorns can actually survive a little bit longer.
Oh, Vizicsacsi stays alive a few seconds longer. He's already used the equalizer. Body slam onto expect. Shadow Assault comes out. Where is Samux? Hylissang is already down. Samux is running backwards, kiting, trying to put the damage onto expect. Ashe arrow catches out onto Xerxe. This could be the final fight. G2, double kill for Perkz. Samux is left alone in the base. Vizicsacsi trying to turn it around, but the Nexus turrets are falling.
Zven completely clean house in this fight. Now Perkz is buying the final moment.
He will indeed. Perkz has led his team to victory. The Nexus is the focus, and this is the G2 Dynasty. G2 Esports take the series 3-1. Three titles in a row.
They came in as the heavy favorites to this series here. Unicorns of Love managed to take that one game, but game 1, game 2, game 4, G2 Esports just were always 1 or 2 steps ahead of Unicorns.
And they came prepared, both in pick and ban and in game. Yes, they may falter, but in a best-of series, they always domestically fight their way back.
G2 Esports, once again, the three-peat. Long live the Kings of Europe, G2 Esports! G2 defend their title against the strongest opposition that Europe could muster. And it fell short. Unicorns, it was a fantastic spring split. The crowd behind UOL the entire time.
But it doesn't matter whether the crowd or the fans are behind them. They have to bend the knee to the king.
I mean, we heard it in the end. People were cheering for G2 because
Yes.
you need to accept that these guys are a fantastic team. They're dominating in Europe. They will represent us again at MSI, and they talk so much about showing how good they are.
And they
Redeeming themselves.
They understand League of Legends when it comes to skirmish, team fights, rotations, macro. They have the full package.
Mithy had some strong words in the Berlin studio, saying to fans, believe in us, give us a chance. Now G2, you have your chance to prove your worth, to earn the respect of Europe, much like UOL has today.
And they can be happy with their split. Obviously, they're building up quite the foundation here, both culture, in team, in fandom. And it has been a successful split for the Unicorns as well.
It's an organization investing in European talent, young talent as well. They're not going for the big transfers. Xerxe came from Turkey, and it's been a fantastic addition, obviously.
It's a new team in Unicorns of Love. 3 new players to the squad. The returning favorites, Vizicsacsi and Hylissang. Defending themselves, don't fall in the confetti.
Yeah, Youngbug, don't fall on the confetti. It is quite slippery, guys. Do not fall on the confetti. We need you in Brazil. Be careful.
Well, mithy always went down. Almost.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see G2 now getting better and better and better. Showing improvements, coming into a game like this, adapting well. They said this would be the hardest final they've played, and they managed to take a 3-1.
And Perkz is really savoring this moment, about to show his confetti mechanics. Does not fall. Fantastic. And they can celebrate with another title.
The Lane Kingdom in game 4, 7-3 and 6 for Perkz and that LeBlanc. He dominated Exileh. And he dominated the map, allowing Expecto pressure, allowing G2, you know what, allowing G2 to do G2 things.
Win the game through very good macro and also being able to fight. That is just the key thing. They can team fight. They can play the rotation game. They're not stuck just playing only one style.
And this is the payoff for a lot of hard work. These guys are constantly looking to improve themselves, to find their gameplay and stay at the top. Because you don't just come out a challenger and then start winning all these consecutive splits in a row in the way they did. Because everybody else is trying to do the same thing. They just do it better.
This is the 9th European LCS split. There have been 3 teams to hoist that trophy. G2 is building a legacy that is encroaching on Fanatics. Now G2 need to show up at the same international level as the former Kings of Europe. You can see the team on the floor right now, setting up for the winners interview. Sharks will be doing a full team interview with G2 in a few minutes' time.
And I will just say, I believe in these guys when it comes to MSI. I believe actually these guys have improved a lot. They learned from some of the failures, and they're going to show a new G2.
And this is not the roster that failed at MSI last year. That is the one thing people keep forgetting. Like, they have so much more talent here. They have
That's the best bot lane in the West, and that's gonna help.
Statement. Simple as that, Officio.
Easy statement.
While the guys are almost getting ready for this interview, I need to give a huge shout out to the Barclaycard Arena in Hamburg. You guys have brought the noise all weekend long. Cheered on the best teams in Europe. But I have one more cheer that I would like to request of you. It is a player of the series. You guys know who it is?
I do. The teleprompter tells me.
The player of the series, your spring split MVP, G2's top laner, Perkz.
And watch his face! And that is just the charm of Perkz. He is always so humble and so easily surprised, and he is really enjoying his moment in front of the crowd.
His Camille was
That guy's at the wrong event.
Look at Perkz's reaction. Congratulations, player of the series for your spring split final.
Look at them graphics.
Gotta show it as well.
I love me some stats.
I mean, come on, look at the numbers in these games. Game
There's an
1,
8, there's an
insane.
11.
Game 4 as well with the Camille.
Thing is, it could have been Trick for his jungler. It
Could
could
have
have
been
been
Perkz.
Perkz.
Definitely Perkz was up
It could have been Sven.
Could have been Quick Shot.
I'm not sure if it could have been mithy. We'll have to see about
No,
that.
mithy played well as well. Come on, let's give it to mithy. He's had
I'm just giving
ups
the
and
Fawn,
downs.
I'm just giving the Fawn some trash. For a player who was the most criticized on the squad this split, he showed up in playoffs, and that's what matters.
And that's all that matters. That's the experience as well from him, and of course Sven down in the bottom lane.
All right, looks like the team is ready, so I'm hoping Xerxe is too. Your spring split champions, 3-time winners, G2 Esports.
Thank you very much, Trevor. Well, first up, congratulations from me as well, guys. A fantastic 3rd championship in a row. Joey, you're next to me, so let's start with probably the proud words from the coach. How proud are you of your squad that they've done it now for a 3rd time in a row?
I'm extremely proud that they came back like this after Worlds. We asked so much from them, and they asked so much from themselves, and they've delivered every single week. So you guys are real heroes, really.
You guys are the heroes. It is the 3rd time to lift the trophy in a row. Perkz, talk to me about your series. How do you feel you performed in your lane kingdom, as you like to call it?
Well, today I kind of woke up on the wrong foot, so I didn't have the best day, but I still think that my performance was at the top, even though it could have been better. I was pretty happy with how I performed and how we performed as a whole team.
All right, well, it definitely showed 3-1 on the day. Perkz, you are the player of the series. Congratulations. You had a very good day up versus the MVP of the split, Vizicsacsi. How do you think you played today? It worked.
Today, today I just I can't control myself. Sometimes over chase and overplay. So I'm sorry to my team. Today I feel like same scream. It's not tournament, not LCS final. Feel like it's scream. So I'm just fun and I just like. It's just.
It looked fun in game 1 on Gangplank with the barrels.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
Just it's just ceremony. I think this game is free win. So
Having a lot of fun, but playing very well as well. Player of the series. mithy, I see you giggling there. Well, Perkz is saying I was having a little fun. Of course, you guys in that game 1, when you guys were winning very convincingly, you probably had a lot of confidence, but how did you try and temper yourself and say, okay, guys, it is 2 more games we have to win. We can't go too crazy.
I don't think we really did, honestly. I think we were not really 100% focused. I think we made a lot of stupid mistakes that we should not make, and we were making them even though we knew that we were making them. So that was pretty bad, but at the same time we did so many good things, so I'm really proud of everyone.
All right, same question for you, Sven. How do you think it went? You got to play a lot of different AD carries and you got to style a little bit at times, so what is your overview of the series? Why were you guys stronger than the Unicorns today?
I'd like to know like why we are better than Unicorns today. I think we were doing better in the lane phases for the most part. I think there's a lot of people in my lane kingdom too in this series. So that was what it was. But I think overall our macro is better than Unicorns. I think Unicorns are often lost on the map or doing things that are like a bit too crazy. And if the enemy is ready for it, it doesn't really work. So yeah, also I think we had good drafts today.
Good draft, good play, 3-1. Trick, the same question for you. Up versus the rookie of the split, Xerxe. Was it a difficult path? How did you feel about your performance?
I practiced Ivan or Rengar, Xerxe champion per play many games, and I watch your Xerxe patting or like jungle loot, so can easy against play him.
All right, you guys seemed very prepared. You had an answer for everything in picks and bans, and it seemed like in the game as well. Joey, a lot of people were pegging G2 as the clear favorites, I think rightfully so after your performance in Spring Split. So what were the dangers in going up against this Unicorns of Love, and how did you overcome those?
Well, the biggest danger that we saw is that they really like to group up in mid lane after pushing out side lanes and play compositions that can throw ults from far, like Rumble and maybe the Gragas. So in the first games, we just wanted to draft a composition that would completely counter that. If they would go mid lane, we would throw the Gangplank ult at them. We had a Rumble ult. So we kept doing that and just adjusted really well throughout the entire series.
Yeah, you guys had answers for everything. Now to focus on the series as a whole, Perkz, I just want to know, what does it feel like to lift that trophy with all the confetti falling down? You've done it 3 times now already. I don't suppose it ever gets old.
Well, honestly, it still feels like a bit surreal. Since I won my first championship when I came to LCS, it feels kind of natural, though. I would not like to be here if I don't win it, and I hate losing more than I love winning, so it was just felt really natural to win.
Yeah, definitely. 3rd time in a row. And guys, we now have to speak about it. You guys have talked about nothing else this split. We have our eyes on MSI. We have our eyes on trying to do better on that international stage, so we have to touch on it. First up, Joey, all the work you guys have put in, your entourage, the things you've learned, what do you think is the main thing you guys as a team, be it in-game or out-of-game, have improved on going into that international tournament?
I think we've worked really well with incorporating Expect into our team play. We've asked more of him than any other player, and he has been delivering, and he has been improving very, very fast. So I think that will be the #1 thing that we have improved on compared to Worlds.
Right, you're mentioning Expect. Mithy, I'd like to get your opinion as well as an overview of the team. What have you guys most improved on? What is kind of, yeah, the X factor, the thing that you think is going much better for you guys or boding well for you in MSI?
Well, I think that right now we're playing a lot less on feeling and more on plans. So we try to have plans for everything we do. Also, what Joey mentioned is a very important thing, and I also think that we've gotten to the point where everyone knows what they're supposed to do, and there's not really a need for someone to tell people what to do, and everyone just like talks for themselves, and everyone has like equal opinion on what we're doing next. So it's a 5-man, like it feels like a 5-man team that like moves together as a team, and before I think it was a bit more like messy, and yeah.
Yeah, honing in on the skills. Before the finals, we saw a video of Perkz and Zven. You guys talked about last year's experiences, and Perkz, you were very clear in that, saying, well, yeah, it was super rough on me last year. How do you treat that? Is that baggage that you still think about every single time, or is this a clean slate? Is this a different G2 going into MSI?
Last year, going into Worlds, we were practicing a lot, like really hard, and we had expectations, even though we were not actually that good of a team, and I had too much expectations of myself too. So all the pressure just crumbled on me and the whole team, and also on top of that, we were not good enough. So we had to change everything from our practice to our mindset and everything else, which I worked hard on this split. I can thank Joy and Veldon and Alex and the whole G2 for allowing us to improve, and I'm really looking forward to what we can do actually at MSI, because maybe this time is the 3rd time is the charm, you know?
Maybe 3rd time is a charm, and obviously you guys talked about the public opinion here. There were a lot of Unicorns fans here, and there were G2 fans as well, but obviously the Unicorns fans were very, very loud. But what does it do to you when you step in an arena like this? How do you use that energy from the crowd, be it positive or negative, and how do you funnel that into your performance, Sven, or does it not matter? It's all about what's happening on the Rift.
I mean, it's always nice if the crowd cheers for you. Today, I feel like there was a little bit of favor for the Unicorns, just a little bit.
A little
but
bit.
normally when you hear someone who's very loud for one team, it feels like you just want to win really badly so you can make it like the entire stage a library for the fans. But I think towards the end of the series, the fans were also on our side a little bit. So I think Hamburg was really nice today. It was loud and I like it.
Yeah, Hamburg has been absolutely amazing. So MSI up next up the slate. Expect. How are you looking forward to MSI? How do you think G2 will do
G2.
at MSI?
Now, I think Korea team said Europe is not good. Europe is weak region, but I don't think so. And we can win MSI, but G2 team is one game is bad.
Best of one.
Yeah. Need to adapt or best of 3, best of 5. We strong. So maybe we need to practice more, and I think we can good result at MSI. I think.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point, Joey. Of course, we've seen that now that G2 can adapt versus Fnatic. You guys came back, you only lost one game, and you just had complete control. Here, you guys didn't get caught off guard. But the best of ones and the group stage is kind of the issue. So how will you tackle that?
I think we just prepare for it like it's a very important series. When it's best of one and you have a lot of best of ones in the tournament, it's pretty difficult to put equal weight in every game. So I think I need to improve on that by just preparing the team much better. Also, compared to last MSI, there's no vacation. We're actually taking a boot camp.
I was about to ask you, what are the plans? Where are you heading?
We want to boot camp in Brazil next week and already play the teams that are playing there.
All right, and also get accustomed to everything. Looking forward to that. Mithy, how do you carry the momentum from this super nice, super active moment, closing out a final pretty convincingly? How do you keep that momentum going so that you peak for MSI again?
I think we will just use our bootcamp time as the most efficient as we can and try and understand how other regions play too, because I think that even though I feel like we are playing a good style and our macro is good and we understand how the game should be played. I think European teams in general, at least a lot of them are just trying to go off meta, and I mean I don't really think it works. It just works because a lot of teams are making so many mistakes, and I don't think it's necessarily good for Europe, but it's kind of arguable because I guess if everyone plays like LCK, then maybe LCK will always end up winning no matter what, So yeah, we will see, but I think the most important thing is to go to Brazil and bootcamp there, use our time efficiently, learn from other teams, and just become a better version of ourselves.
Definitely. So Zven, I saw you laughing a bit when Expect mentioned we can win MSI. I didn't think you meant it quite super confident or anything, but I feel like you're still trying to be careful with expectations going into that tournament.
I don't know if it's bad to have expectations of yourself. I think if you like fit is good, having an idea of how you want to play and how well you want to play is fine. But I think saying you can win MSI is a little bit over the top, maybe. I can't speak for last year's MSI, but I think at Worlds we were actually not choking or national stage, Lulu or anything like that. It was literally just us being bad at the game. I don't think we choked or something like that. So I think this MSI will be much better, hopefully. I mean, it cannot be much worse, right? But
it can't not be much worse, no. So we will see what happens. Perkz, is there anything you want to add to that? You get to play Faker.
Well, I just want to actually play against everyone in MSI because those mid laners there are really great. Faker, Maple, and both Jensen and Bjergsen are both extremely good. So I'm sure I can learn a thing or two from them. And maybe if I get lucky enough, they can enter my lane kingdom. Maybe
they can enter your lane kingdom. Finally, ask Trick, what do you think will happen at MSI?
Last year I didn't practice a lot, but this year I will practice a lot in MSI. In MSI. So.
Okay, we'll see. We've spoken about enough. I think we'll see you guys in the group stage and see how it goes. Let's pull it back to today. Third final in a row, third championship in a row. We talked about the G2 Kings, the G2 Dynasty. It doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon. What are your aspirations going forward in Europe? How many titles is G2 going to rack up at this pace? You seem pretty unstoppable.
Well, to the answer to the question of how many titles we want to win, how long is LCS going to stay around is the answer.
All right, there we go. That is clear. We were in Hamburg. It was a fantastic crowd. It was a fantastic tournament. Is there any one of you who wants to thank the crowd and thank also the G2 fans at home, because they were definitely rooting for you guys? Perkz?
Well, I would like to thank my whole family, friends, and everyone who supports me. I would like to thank this whole crowd here. Even though everyone was cheering for unicorns, I still think it was an awesome crowd, and thank you guys for coming, because we all just love competition, and I enjoy playing on stage very much, so seeing 10,000 people or something come here to watch our game, it feels really awesome. So thank you guys, and thanks G2 and all our fans who are supporting us for a very long time.
I wanted to make a special shout out to my family and friends that are watching and the ones that came here too. And I also wanted to, since I know that my mother is watching and she's always asking me if I know German or not, I would like to thank the fans in Germany. So danke an alle, die ihr uns bei uns sein, und ja, ich liebe euch.
Well, that's one way to win over the hearts of the German fans, and of course they were cheering for you guys as well. Thank you guys very much, G2. Congratulations, third championship in a row, and we'll see you guys at MSI. One more time for our Spring Split champions, G2 Esports. I think the party is going to go on for a long time here in Hamburg. It's been amazing. You guys have been an amazing crowd here in Germany, in Hamburg, for the entire weekend. These are our champions over in the NA, LCS, TSM, and C9 will battle it out for their spot in MSI, so you can check it over there. But first off, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you at MSI. Dankeschön. Tschüss.